NEET PG Rank Booster Series. Thank you friends for your immense love and support for this series on my YouTube channel. Today I bring to you quiz number 5 part 1. We'll be covering the all important topic of communicable diseases, non-communicable diseases and national health programs in the country. So friends, as you are aware about the quiz pattern now, what I will do, take a pen and paper with you and I will try to simulate the exact environment you will be facing at the examination center. So what I'll do, I'll read and try to understand the question with you. Then I will try to give you 20 seconds or sometimes even more depending on the question to answer the question. Because in the exam also, you are likely to get 1 to 1.5 minute maximum per question. Let us consider 1 minute. So in that 1 minute, you have to read the question, understand the question, calculate the answer if there is a calculation and mark the answer also. So friends, are you ready? Let's start. So we start with question number 1, that is a 2-year-old child is brought to the OPD at a primary health center with history of cough, coryza and rash starting behind the ear pinna. On examination, bluish white spot are seen in oral mucosa opposite molar teeth. The child will remain communicable to others. For what duration? Is it 1 to 2 days after onset of rash? Is it 4 to 5 days after onset of rash? Is it as long as the child is not treated? Or will he not be communicable to others at all? And your time starts now. So friends, what is the answer to this clinical scenario based question? First, you have to identify the disease in question. Let us try to look at that. Now, in this question, they are saying there is a history of cough, coryza and rash starting behind the ear pinna. When rash starts behind the ear pinna, near the hairline or on the scalp, that rash is known as retroauricular origin. Then if you notice carefully, it is mentioned in the question, bluish white spots are seen in oral mucosa opposite molar teeth. Now, retroauricular origin of rash and bluish white spots on oral mucosa. Which disease we are talking of? Very right, this is disease measles. Now, why measles? Because not just retroauricular origin of the rash is characteristic of this viral exanthem, but the pathognomic clinical feature which is given in the question, bluish white spots on oral mucosa opposite molar teeth, that is Koplik spot. So they are sufficient to clinch the diagnosis of this disease. This measles disease is caused by RNA paramyxovirus. Total incubation period of this disease is around 10 to 14 days. So now you tell me, what is the period of communicability of measles to other? Measles is 4 days before the appearance of rash to 5 days after the appearance of rash. So best answer will be choice number B. In fact, I tell the students to remember it like this: chicken pox 25, measles 45. Chicken pox, infective or communicable to others 2 days prior to appearance of rash to 5 days later. Chickenpox 25, measles 45, 4 days prior to appearance of rash to 5 days later. I am sure you must have marked this question correctly. Let's move to question number 2. A newly diagnosed case of tuberculosis under NTEP, National Tuberculosis Elimination Program of India, will get how many total doses of FDC, fixed dose combination drugs during complete treatment? Drug dosage numbers are given for intensive phase and continuation phase separately in both the choices, and your time starts now. It's all a mathematical question, friends. You have to calculate it on the sheet if provided to you. If rough sheet is not given, you will have to calculate it in the mind itself. You will get an additional 20 seconds to solve this question. Okay friends, so the time is up. So what is the answer? Let's see. NTEP, National Tuberculosis Elimination Program, which was launched in January 2020. This program, patients are now divided into two categories as recommended by WHO. One category is newly diagnosed patients, earlier known as category 1, and the other category is previously treated patients, earlier known as category number 2. Now the regimen is same for both the categories, that is 2HRZNE plus 4HRE. Now what are these HRZE, HRE? These are primary line anti-tubercular drugs. H, isoniazid, R, rifampicin, Z, pyrazinamide, and E is ethambutol. And what are these numbers 2 and 4? These are months. Total duration of treatment now is 6 months for both patients, newly diagnosed as well as previously treated patients. Now your answer lies in this very regimen only. If you look 5 years back, there used to be number after the bracket like this, small 3. What does that small 3 indicated? It indicated thrice a week. But if you look now, this small number 3 is not there. Why? Because now drugs are given on a daily basis. So now we are ready to do the calculation. 2 months intensive phase with 4 drugs. 2 months means 8 weeks. Similarly, 4 months of continuation phase. This means 16 weeks. Now, a drug is given as FDC, fixed dose combination, for 7 days a week. So 8 weeks into 7 days each. Similarly, 16 weeks into 7 days each. So that will give us 8 7 ja 56 doses in the intensive phase and 16 into 7 112 doses in the continuation phase. Now you have to read the question carefully. The choice correct is choice number C. Intensive phase 56 doses, continuation phase total 112 doses. Let us move to the next question now. Question number 3. IFA, iron folic acid content of the pill under the program as shown in the photograph is iron folic acid, different combinations of content composition are given. Your time starts now. So friends, what is the correct answer to this question? Which program are we talking of? It is written on the photograph itself, earlier known as National Iron Plus Initiative, now known as Anemia Mukt Bharat. Under this Anemia Mukt Bharat program of the country, what do we want to achieve? We want to achieve a reduction of prevalence of anemia and how much reduction we want to achieve? It is by 3% reduction in points every year, and we are targeting this from year 2018 till 2022. Under this program, 6 by 6 by 6 strategy is also there. You can go through the details of that strategy either from my review book or from my Dr. Vivek Jain PSM mobile app video lectures of health programs of the country. Now friends, under that strategy, one of the key components is iron folic acid supplementation to the identified vulnerable groups. Now these vulnerable groups are total 6 in number. What are these 6 groups? These are 6 months to 59 months of age children. Second group is 5 to 9 years. Third is adolescents 10 to 19 years. Fourth group is reproductive age group females, non-pregnant, non-lactating. Fifth group pregnant females, and sixth group is lactating females. How much iron folic acid supplementation is given to that you should know. 6 to 59 months, that is up to 5 years of age, it is recommended to be given 20 milligram of iron and 100 microgram of folic acid. Children 5 to 9 years, 45 milligram iron plus 400 microgram of folic acid. When we look at adolescents, then they are supposed to be getting, just like adults, 60 milligram iron and 500 microgram folic acid. And this is same for reproductive age group females, pregnant females, as well as lactating females. So all the four groups, 60 milligram elemental iron, 500 microgram folic acid. Beside this, what else you have to remember? When we look at these children below 5 years, they get in the form of syrup in a bottle. When we look at 5 to 9 year children, they get it in the form of a pink tablet. Adolescents, they get it in the form of a blue tablet, whereas reproductive age group, pregnant female and lactating females, they get it in the form of a red colored tablet. Now if you see the photograph given, it is showing red colored tablet. So answer to this question is choice number D. Iron 60 milligram, folic acid 500 microgram per tablet. Also remember, children below 5 years get this iron folic acid supplementation on a bi-weekly basis. Children, adolescents and reproductive age group females get it on a weekly basis, but pregnant and lactating women get it on a daily basis. Let us move to question number 4 now. In a surgery ward, a resident got needle stick injury while taking sutures of a HIV positive patient 2 hours back. Following statement is incorrect regarding HIV transmission. The statements given are 3 drug combination to be preferred for post-exposure prophylaxis, 28-day prescription for PP to be done, choice number C, PP to be offered within maximum 72 hours, and choice number D, high chances of HIV transmission. And your time starts now. You will be getting 40 seconds to answer this question. Friends, read the statements very carefully. So what is the answer to this question? Friends, this is based on WHO guidelines adopted by National AIDS Control Program of India. As a part of post-exposure prophylaxis, we recommend that there should be a 3-drug regimen to be given. This is, we are talking of post-exposure prophylaxis. In this 3-drug regimen, there is a 2-drug backbone regimen, that is lamivudine along with tenofovir, and to this backbone drug regimen we add lopinavir or ritonavir. This 3-drug regimen should be started as early as possible, but maximum within 72 hours of the exposure to yield maximum efficacious results. Also, the prescription is given continuously for a duration of 28 days. So, choice number A is correct, B is correct, C is correct. They are asking incorrect in the question. So, answer to this question is choice number D, high chances of HIV transmission. No, needle stick injury gives chances of transmission 0.1 to 0.3% only, and if post exposure prophylaxis is started on time, that too by the recommended guidelines, this could be cut down drastically also. Question number 5, it is a fill in the blank type of question. Number of drug or drugs used are dash and maximum duration of treatment is dash in the program covered by the symbol shown, and your time starts now. So friends, what is the answer to this question? For that, first you will have to identify the logo or the symbol given in the question correctly. This symbol, hand holding a flower or a lotus, is a symbol of which National Health Program of India? Very right, that is NLEP. National Leprosy Eradication Program of the country. Under this program, two categories of patients are there. One is PBL, one is MBL, paucibacillary leprosy, multibacillary leprosy. Up to 5 skin lesions are pauci, 6 or more skin lesions are multibacillary leprosy. When we look at paucibacillary leprosy, how many drugs are given for treatment? We give 2 drugs. And which are these 2 drugs? These are dapsone and rifampicin. Multibacillary leprosy is treated in India with 3 drugs. Besides dapsone and rifampicin, the third additional drug is clofazimine. If you look at duration of treatment for paucibacillary leprosy in the country is 6 months, whereas for multibacillary leprosy is 12 months. So now the answer to the question becomes very clear. Total number of drugs used are 3 under this program: dapsone, rifampicin, clofazimine, and maximum duration of treatment is 12 months. That is for multibacillary leprosy. Now friends, WHO has proposed, India has not yet adopted. I have already told you in the video lecture given in my mobile app that WHO proposes now for India to take up uniform MDT. What is uniform MDT? It says whether a patient is paucibacillary or multibacillary, both should get same drugs, all the 3 drugs. Dapsone, rifampicin, clofazimine should be given to every leprosy patient in the country. Only the duration of treatment will differ for pauci and multi. So India is likely to adopt this regimen in coming time, but it has not been implemented in the program yet. So answer to this question is clear. We move to now question number 6. Incubation period is 2 to 6 days for which of the following diseases? This is a multiple response type of answer. Choices given are yellow fever, influenza, diphtheria, meningococcal meningitis, and syphilis, and your time starts now. So friends, what is the answer to this? One of the easy questions in the quiz today. Let's see. Yellow fever, also known as American plague. What is the incubation period of this disease? It is 2 to 6 days. Quarantine period of yellow fever is also 6 days. Caused by Flavivirus fibricus. Influenza, which is a viral disease. This disease has an incubation period of 18 to 72 hours, that is 1 to 3 days. Diphtheria, the disease has an incubation period of 2 to 6 days. Meningococcal meningitis, which is caused by Neisseria meningitidis, this disease has an incubation period of 3 to 4 days. And finally, syphilis, caused by Treponema pallidum. This disease has an incubation period of 9 to 90 days. So just read the choices carefully. They are asking incubation period 2 to 6 days. So answer will be choice number A, yellow fever, and choice number C, diphtheria. A and C. Let's move to question number 7. A 4-month-old infant is brought to OPD at Community Health Center in Gujarat with cough and coryza since last few days. On examination is found to be positive for swine flu H1N1. Treatment to be given is and your time starts now. Friends, first of all, you tell me swine flu. What is the drug of choice we use in the country? Very right, that is Tamiflu. But Tamiflu is the brand commercial name. What is the actual drug? Very right, that is oseltamivir. When this oseltamivir is given as a treatment or drug of choice, it is given twice a day for 5 days, and it depends on age or weight of the person that how much dose of this drug he or she will get. When we look at young infants below 3 months of age, it is 12 milligram BD for 5 days. 3 to 5 months aged, it is 20 milligram BD for 5 days, and 6 to 11 months, it is 25 milligram BD for 5 days as a treatment. As the infant grows into a child less than 15 kg, he will get 30 milligram BD for 5 days. 15 to 23 kg weight will get 45 milligram BD for 5 days. 24 to 39 kilogram will get 60 milligram BD for 5 days, and people aged 40 kg and above will get 75 milligram BD for 5 days. So it's all about reading the age given in the question correctly and carefully. 4 month of age. So correct answer to this question will be choice number B, 20 milligram BD for 5 days. Friends, I can tell you a very good method to remember even the dose if they ask you for chemoprophylaxis. Dose is absolutely same for this age group with only 2 changes. What are the changes? These doses, when we are looking for chemoprophylaxis, these are given milligram OD once a day for 10 days. And children or infants below 3 months are not considered at all for chemoprophylaxis. We move to next clinical scenario based question number 8. A 2-year-old child is brought to a primary health center with history of fever, cough, cold since last 4 days. On examination, the child has a respiratory rate of 48 beats per minute and chest indrawing is present. The child will be classified as, this is according to MNCI new guidelines, no pneumonia, pneumonia, severe disease or very severe disease, and your time starts now. Friends, as per the new guidelines, no pneumonia means when a child presents with cough and cold only, and there are no other features of pneumonia, severe or very severe disease. A child is classified as pneumonia when he presents with cough and cold and at the same time he has fast breathing. Fast breathing means below the age of 2 months more than 60 beats per minute, 2 to 12 months more than 50 beats per minute, and 1 to 5 years of age more than 40 beats per minute. At the same time, along with this fast breathing, chest indrawing is present. And when you look at severe disease, very severe disease, what is the basis of classification for them? That there is stridor in a calm child, and along with this stridor there is a danger sign present. What is danger sign? It includes inability to feed, vomiting, convulsions, lethargy, or patient is comatose. So read the question carefully. 2-year-old child, the respiratory rate is 48 beats per minute. So I told you below 2 months 60 beats per minute is the cutoff for diagnosing pneumonia. 2 to 12 months 50 beats per minute, and 1 to 5 years of age 40. It is more than 40. So definitely it is a case of pneumonia, and you can see chest indrawing is also present. So that clinches the diagnosis. This is a case of pneumonia according to the latest IMNCI guidelines. Now for a case of pneumonia, what is the treatment we recommend? We recommend oral amoxicillin, inhaled bronchodilator for 5 days, soothe the throat, and follow up. You should tell the mother that follow up has to be done within 3 days next. If child has recurrent wheeze, send him for evaluation of asthma. If cough is more than 2 weeks, send the child for evaluation of tuberculosis also. Now we come to question number 9. It is a fill in the blank type of question. Scrub typhus is caused by, it is transmitted by, and the reservoir is, and your time starts now. Quickly write the answer, friends. And yes, there are 3 parts to this question. So you will get an additional 20 seconds to write the answer. So friends, first you tell me, scrub typhus belongs to which group of diseases integrated with microbiology and medicine? Very right, this is a type of rickettsial disease. Now rickettsial diseases are divided into 3 groups: typhus group, spotted fever group, others. Scrub typhus belongs to which group? Very right, it is the first one, typhus group. It is caused by, what is a causative agent? Causative agent is Rickettsia sushugamushi, a very popular question of your exam. What is the vector of this rickettsial disease? It is transmitted by, is it louse, tick or mite? It is mite, and which mite? That is trombiculate mite. I will discuss this mite in detail when we discuss medical entomology in the upcoming quiz on environment. And what is the reservoir of this scrub typhus? It is rodents. Friends, a very characteristic feature of this scrub typhus is it is the most widespread rickettsial disease. Its incubation period is 10 to 12 days, and it is characterized by a particular clinical identifying feature, that is development of eschar. We move to now question number 10. A 4-year-old child presented to OPD of a PHC with cough and coryza since few days. Examination, he had superficial rash on body affecting flexor aspect. See the image. Expected secondary attack rate is 0%, 30 to 40%, 60 to 70% or more than 90%, and your time starts now. So friends, what is the answer to this question? Answer lies first in identifying the disease correctly. This is a viral exanthem. There is a rash present. Rash is shown to you in the photograph. That clinches the diagnosis. This rash is characteristically showing to you an appearance known as dewdrop on a rose petal appearance. So you tell me, which disease are we talking of? Very right, that is chicken pox. Chicken pox is caused by varicella. That is actually human herpes virus 3 or alpha subtype. also known as varicella zoster virus. This disease has an incubation period of 14 to 16 days. Characteristically, the rash is pleomorphic. Pleomorphism means all stages of rash, papule, macule, scab formation are seen on the same person's body at the same time. It has a typical centripetal distribution. It affects axillary flexor aspect and it has a rapid evolution also. It has a typical characteristic. Each lesion, if you see vesicle field, it shows a typical dewdrop on a rose petal appearance. And what is the secondary attack rate of chickenpox? That is the question. That is choice number D, more than 90%. So chickenpox case, if it enters a group of 100 susceptibles in close contact, out of them more than 90 may convert to secondary cases by that single primary case. Question number 11. End TB strategy of WHO. Targets by 2035 include all except 4 targets are given in front of you in the form of choices. Reduction in number of TB deaths by 95%, reduction in TB incidence rate by 90%, reduction in HIV TB co-infection by 95%. This is with 2015 year as baseline. And choice number D, TB affected families facing catastrophic cause due to TB to be made 0%. And your time starts now. So friends, what is the answer to this question? First of all, you tell me, when we look at this global NTB strategy given by World Health Organization, what is the main aim or you can say goal of this strategy is to make a world free of tuberculosis. Although India has preponed its target year for elimination by 5 years now under NTEP, but originally for the year 2035, 3 targets had been identified. Number 1, reduction in number of TB deaths compared with 2015 by 95%. So this is correct. Number 2, reduction in TB incidence rate as compared to 2015 by 90%. Even this is correct. And when we say this reduction of incidence rate, this we are talking to bringing it below 10 cases per 1 lakh population. And the third target was TB affected families who have to face catastrophic cause due to tuberculosis should be made 0%. So they are asking all except which of the following is not a target under NTB strategy. Answer will be choice number C. They are not looking at reduction in HIV TB co-infection directly through targets of this strategy. Now friends, we come to the final question of this part 1 of the clinical quiz. Match the following causative agent with disease. On the left side, A, B, C, D, E represents 5 types of hepatitis. Hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, hepatitis D, hepatitis E. On the right side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 represent their causative agent. So in the chat box or in the answer, you should write 1B, 2C, 3D, like so on. And your time starts now. For this question, you will get double the time, that is 40 seconds. Hurry up friends. That's it. So friends, what is the answer? Let's go through it one by one. This is a purely clinical epidemiology based question. Hepatitis A is caused by, yes, enterovirus 72, that is picorna virus. So this is A3. Hepatitis B is caused by organism belonging to which group? Very right, that is Hepadnavirus. B is 4. Hepatitis C is Hepasivirus 1. Hepatitis D is Viroids like 5. And hepatitis E belongs to the group Calicivirus, that is 2. So A3, B4, C1, D5 and E2. See how many of you are absolutely correct. Friends, also let us look at a very important commonly asked question from this topic, that is incubation periods of these 5 types of hepatitis. Let's look at that. I think hepatitis A and B incubation periods are asked most commonly. So hepatitis A, what is the incubation period? Very right, it is 15 to 45 days. Or I can say 2 to 6 weeks. Hepatitis B, 45 to 180 days, I can say 6 weeks to 6 months. Hepatitis D, 30 to 120 days, 1 to 4 months. Hepatitis D, 30 to 90 days, that is 1 to 3 months. And hepatitis E is 21 to 45 days, that is 3 to 6 weeks. So friends, that's it for today. I tried to include as many topics as possible and tried to do a detailed discussion of all the questions which have been asked in your exams related to that topic. So what is your final score? Out of 12 questions, I expect you should have minimum attempted 9 correctly. So if you have attempted 9 or 10 correctly, it's a very good sign. And if you have got 11 or 12 correct, I applaud. This is really awesome. Students who have scored less than 9 in this test, you need to practice a lot more questions. Don't worry. Communicable, non-communicable diseases National Health Program is a topic which require a lot of details to be understood. So just go through that in detail and practice as many questions as possible. Friends, before I go, as I always tell you, nothing is impossible. Even if you look at the word impossible and break it into 3 parts, it says I am possible. So even impossible could be made possible if you have a solid determination and hard work to follow up. Friends, exactly at the same time tomorrow, 8 p.m. on the same YouTube channel, I will discuss second part of this quiz on communicable diseases, non-communicable diseases and national health programs of the country. So as of now, I'd like to take your leave and I would like to wish you all the best again. So friends, see you tomorrow. Friends, those of you who want to download the mobile app having all the video lectures, question banks, video discussions, snapshot, rapid revision course, please do it from the Play Store, and a 25% discount coupon code by the name coupon25 could be utilized. So I wish you all the best.